This will be the last episode for 2025. As I anticipated in the previous one, I managed to record 6 episodes in the course of a year, more or less. Maybe I expected to do more, but in the end, I discovered this is my pace. And no one is running against me or you listening. It's just... we're doing this for the sake of the music, the love for heavy metal, and our own pleasure in the end. So, So, I don't know if there will be more. I have more to play, a lot more to play. But I guess I will now end like a season, like season 1. And let's see if I will have the time to start a new one. For sure, I already have some new playlists in the closet. So I don't know, if you just care about it, write me a message and let me know. So it may be a little push for me to go on, but eventually I think that I will do something more when I feel like it. So yeah, last episode I started with an episode called 1984, celebrating 40 years of some of the greatest albums of 1984, and I will close with 1985 since 2025 is ending. I think it's a good idea to just celebrate 40 years of some of the more great albums from the 80s. So I will probably talk a little bit less and play more music today. No sections, just I'll go a bit more free and play songs. Let's just enjoy the music, okay? So let's start. Welcome to episode number 6 of the Into the Coven Metal podcast. The last episode of the year, the last episode of season 1. So this means that there may be a season 2? I don't know. I didn't make up my mind yet, but who knows? We'll see. Anyhow, first track of the day. In 1985, there was an EP coming from a newcomer band, basically. An incredible EP. Speed metal was a thing in the 80s. And this band, together with others, of course, but this band especially started playing this really fast speed metal and added some class, some melodies, and they started playing something that later became what we all know as the European power metal that we all know about, that started to grow at the end of the 80s, but exploded literally in the 90s. I'm talking about HELLOWEEN from Germany. This was an incredible EP. And they wrote the history of this genre, especially with their first albums, The Walls of Jericho and The Keeper 1 and 2. Anyhow, the EP was self-titled, so this was HELLOWEEN, and this song was later re-included in The Walls of Jericho release. But anyway, this song was on the debut EP, one of my favorite tracks from HELLOWEEN, one of my favorite tracks from speed power metal. This is HELLOWEEN, Victim of Fate.
Fighting do is the shade of Lucifer, laughing with a satanic smile. And his friend dead sharpens his sickle. You don't want to die, do you? But you will. You will burn in hell.
Wow, just powerful. And Kay Hansen on vocals, yeah, just the best. I mean, yeah, Kiske came and he made history and he's just a god. But Kai was so rough, just incredible. Okay, second track. I couldn't, I mean, we're talking about the 80s. I will not make an episode or a playlist if we are playing 80s metal, and I will never not include Iron Maiden, okay? So 1985 saw the release of a live album, but this is just, in my opinion, the live album, at least for heavy metal. So I will play, Live After Death. I mean, I will play Iron Maiden, and this is one of my favorite tracks from the Peace of Mind album. Anyway, it was released in this live version in the Live After Death live album. Iron Maiden from Live After Death, Revelations.
Oh!
This was just an amazing live album, and it was recorded in October 1985 on the World Slavery Tour in Long Beach Arena, and it was amazing to hear how they were playing, and no editing here. I mean, there are a lot of errors, but it's the deal of the live experience, and it was just great. They were playing so good, and we have to consider that these shows were, if I'm not mistaken, were basically at the end of a tour. So the energy and also the voice from Bruce after all those shows, that was probably their longest tour ever. And it's just amazing, and on this song, I remember that Bruce was also playing guitar. I don't know if you've ever seen the video of this live album. Just amazing. Okay, so now we go back to Germany with a band called Accept. We all know Accept. 1985 saw the release of their 6th studio album. So they were already around for a while, with the Udo Dirk Schneider as it was still in the band, of course, and they released this amazing album called Metal Heart, and the song I'm about to play is, of course, the title track. I mean, there are a lot of great songs here, like the Midnight Mover. But Metal Heart is so iconic, and it's so amazing that they added these pieces from Tchaikovsky and Beethoven, and and it became one of the most iconic metal tracks ever released. So Accept, Metal Heart. Now we go to the States, and more specifically, we travel to the Bay Area. Those were the years of the great thrash metal bands. And if in the 1984 episode I played, of course, Metallica, today I will play some other bands coming from the thrash metal scene. One of them being Exodus, and 1985 saw the release of such an iconic album called Bonded by Blood. This is one of the best thrash metal albums ever, in my opinion. There's not a lot to say about it. It's just a masterpiece. So Exodus from the Bonded by Blood album. This is And Then There Were None.
What's that? So great! I'm waiting for the nuclear blast!
yeah, that was just awesome. Now, I thought about not playing the same bands that I played for the 1984 episode, but I already played Maiden, so the rule is broken. So, yeah, why not playing some more Celtic Frost? Also because 1985 saw the release of 2 Mega Therion, and how can we not play a song out of this album? I mean, this is a really important album, especially for the extreme metal scene that was about to come out in the late 80s and the early 90s. Tom G. Warrior is just in a state of grace here, and the whole band actually. So, yeah, from To Mega Therion, this is Celtic Frost, the Usurper. Ooh. Okay, now, Grave Digger. Does that name ring any bell? Of course, a lot of you power metal maniacs know this band for their amazing albums that were released in the 90s, especially the historical trilogy. But Gravedigger was already playing and headbanging in the 80s. They had then a break, and then came back in 1983 with the Reaper album, which was a blast, by the way. But the album I'm about to play now, of course, we're talking about 1985, was released in 1985, yeah. And it was one of those albums that I discovered with a friend of mine because his uncle gave him a lot of vinyls and like Manila Road, Candlemass, Gravedigger, Helloween. I already talked about this in an earlier episode. And yeah, Witch Hunter from Gravedigger was one of those albums. I fell in love with it because, you know, they had this speed metal, traditional heavy metal sound, a little bit a la Accept, but it was special. I don't know. And also the voice from Chris Boltendal was really unique. So yeah, this was raw, you know, raw and heavy, and I just loved it. So Gravedigger, Witch Hunter. So let's go. As I said, not a lot of talking, more songs. Now I will play a song out of an album and a band that I didn't listen to a lot when I was younger, even if I knew about them and I knew it was interesting, but I don't know. I wasn't ready, and I rediscovered them later. And I'm talking about Fate's Warning from the United States. They were definitely playing what we all know as US power metal, and they were a bit more progressive. So the song structures were a bit more, I wouldn't say difficult, but a little bit more complex, you know. So I don't know why I didn't stick to them at the time when I was a kid, because I loved bands that were even more progressive than them, but I don't know. I needed sometimes you just need the right time and the right moment. So yeah, I will now play a song out of the Spectre Within, great album released in 1985. So this is Fate's Warning, Without a Trace.
Sky hides in the sun.
And now, again, in the States, more thrash metal. This is raw. This is raw, and it's more aggressive. It's someone thinks, and probably they're right, that this is the very first death metal album that was ever released, because it was thrash, but it was really hyper aggressive and raw. So I'm talking about Possessed and the legendary album called Seven Churches. Who doesn't know about this album? Let's just play it. Possessed, Seven Churches, The Exorcist. All right. Now we will go to the opposite. We come from hyper-aggressive thrash death metal, and we go to some, bear with me, some hard rock. This is one of my favorite albums in the hard rock area because, when I was a kid, before starting listening to Maiden, Metallica, or anyway, during that time when I started listening to heavy metal, I also listened to a lot of glam metal and hard rock, and there are really some good albums also in that soundscape, in my opinion, at least. And I especially loved the ones that were mixing heavy metal with a little bit more hard rockish sound. And one of these bands were DOKKEN, who I discovered with A Nightmare on Elm Street film, number 3, with the Dream Warriors track. But this was released before that. This was released in 1985, of course. And the album is Under Lock and Key. This is one of my favorite tracks of the album. Come on, let's listen to DOKKEN, Lightnin Strikes Again.
Like a razor's edge, it cuts through the air.
So now let's get back to some violin music, because those were also the Slayer years. March 1985 saw the release of a monumental album called Hell Awaits. Their second album, I will play a song, probably one of the most epic songs out of this album. It's more than 6 minutes, and it's darker, and it has some tempo changes, and it's really a great track. So, Slayer from Hell Awaits, At Dawn They Sleep. how many good songs and great albums were released in the 80s. I mean, it's embarrassing. You can pick up any song from these albums and you'll have a great bunch of songs. It's just out of this world. Now, I have some more songs for you, more songs for me. Here's another band that I really didn't care about as much as I did with the Fates Warning, and they came later in my life. But when I started listening to some of their albums, I was blown away and said to myself, why have I never listened to, these albums, and why? But yeah, as usual, the right moment, and unfortunately we don't have as many moments as we would like to. Anyhow, we're still in the United States. Probably I had a certain kind of aversion with the U.S. power metal when I was a kid. I loved a lot of bands coming from the States, but I don't know, U.S. power, U.S. metal, U.S. power metal. I don't know. It didn't stick to me, but it did later in my life. Bands like Fates Warning and Riot, and now the one that I'm about to play, Metal Church. Metal Church is just a great band, and their debut album, which was released originally in 1984 actually, but it was reissued in 1985 by Elektra. So I didn't play it in the previous episode. I will play them today. This is just a great mid-tempo, great song. It's the title track from an album that has the same name of the band. So Metal Church from Metal Church. This is Metal Church. This is such a great song with such a great production as well. I mean, there are some albums released in the 80s that have this incredible production. The sounds are so good that you just wish that all albums would still play like that also nowadays. This was actually produced by Terry Date. He made albums for Dark Angel, Dream Theater, Chastain, Overkill, and also Pantera. The big albums for Pantera. So great producer, and this was really a great production. Okay, now I don't. I have more songs. I just thought about ending it up here, but no, I have more. These years were extremely important for Germany. We talked about the speed metal, power metal that was starting to rise, but these years were also very important for thrash, and not only in the United States, but in Germany. And in Germany, it was darker, more evil, raw. It was really primitive, and it was another great influence for the extreme metal that was about to come later in the late 80s and early 90s. And I will now play the three biggest examples, the Teutonic three. I will play them one after the other. I will not talk. It will be a German thrash blast, okay? So, KREATOR from the debut album Endless Pain, Destruction from the debut album Infernal Overkill, and SODOM from the debut EP In the Sign of Evil. Okay, so this is just some of the best thrash from Germany that you'll ever get. I will now play Tormentor, Bestial Invasion, and Blasphemer.
Feel his anger, you know he's here. Casting his power. Bestial.
Wow, that was quite a ride. Very, very raw and evil. It's amazing to listen to how these bands were with their debut releases. Of course, they changed a lot through the years, but they were so primitive and instinctive. It was so good to have this kind of metal in the 80s as well, together with all of the other shades and tones. Okay, we're getting near the end of the episode. I said that I will not care about sections, but still I left a couple of tracks that are more on the darker and extreme side for the end. But it is still not the end. I have one more song before the end, and I will play another track from W.A.S.P. And I say another because I already played them in the 1984 episode, but you know, in October 1985 they released an album called The Last Command with songs like Wild Child and Blind in Texas. I mean, a very good album. But I will play a song that was a bonus track. It was a B-side, actually. I think for the Blind in Texas single. And I played this song because I was really fond of it, since it was included in the soundtrack of A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. So later than it was originally released. But yeah, I really loved this song, so I have to play it because it was basically released in 1985 originally. So W.A.S.P. from the Blind in Texas single. This is Savage. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. 2 tracks are left. I will now play a band from Italy. This is BULLDOZER. And it was one of the most important, it is one of the most important bands, Italian metal bands actually. They released their debut album in March 1985 after an EP. This is defined by many, another example of proto-black metal because of the atmosphere and the rawness and its, blasphemous lyrics, and it really resembles a lot of what then became black metal. So it's very important for so many reasons, this band and this album especially, The Day of Wrath. And I am very, very proud that they're from Italy. This is just a cult band, especially out of Italy. A lot of bands are respecting and have been influenced by BULLDOZER. So, yeah, BULLDOZER from The Day of Wrath. This is the Insurrection of the Living Damned. Okay, people, we've come to the end. I have one more track, but before that, I would like to thank you all for listening. Thanks a lot for staying with me through these 6 episodes. As I said, I don't know if there will be more. Let's just see. But for the moment, this is the end. The last track for today. Yeah, I know. I'm repetitive. It's from Bathory. 1985 saw the release of their second album. It's just a great album. Their Return. It's so violent and so important for the whole birth of black metal and aggressive and fast death metal. So I have to play one song out of this. I know. So thanks again. This is Bathory from The Return. This is The Rite of Darkness. See you.